Okay, so Unit 5 is actually a pretty short unit. There's a few new concepts that are introduced, but for the most part, it is the synthesis of Units 1 through 4. So it's in some ways the review unit, while Unit 6 goes forward and looks at applying those to stories. So, as I recommended at the beginning of the semester, Unit 6 is good for review as you start ASL 2. Watch the stories and work your way through Unit 6, and that's the best way to synthesize. But I do want to include in these discussions of Unit 5 a little reflection back on the previous ones, but I'm not going to dwell on it because you already have that information. You've already gone over it. I really just want to look at the new information, and it's uneven. There are a couple of chapters in it that are heavy with new information. There are other ones that are really light, and it's just a recap. So this next set of video lectures are going to be kind of uneven, but mostly short because it's recap. So we're talking about everyday activities. It's going to be a bunch of vocab, and I will include the slideshows of new vocab. The best way to learn the vocab is to take these sentences that are going to be introduced in each chapter, or in most of the chapters, and then just plug in the new vocab. Practice them a few times. That's the best way. It's hard to just memorize vocab without context. So create a context, create a sentence, create a situation. If it's real life, it will stick better than if you're making something up. Okay. So 5.1, we're talking about everyday activities. This unit, this entire unit, we're going to talk about chores and errands and hobbies, activities, stuff like that. So the first thing we're doing is using when question, right? So when. So it's like you're drawing a clock face, when. And we always end with a WH question, remember? So when. So you, some activity. This is just a generic sign for activity. Activity. You, activity, when. And remember, when it's a WH question, the eyebrows go down. So you, topic, remember, my eyebrows are going up. Here, I'm introducing a new topic. Yeah. So it can go either way where work goes. Sometimes it's more clear that it's the topic. Sometimes the question is work when, right? So play with both of those. Either way it works. So the second question is on a date, someday, yesterday or tomorrow, you, and then do. And it's actually finger spelling. It comes from do. So do, and it's with both hands, do. We use this a lot and for many different meanings, and we'll get to that later in Unit 5, where we talk about do. That's when you'll either see do, do, or do++. And if you see the number sign, the little hashtag, that means it's finger spelling. The book will separate two different ones, if you've noticed. There's FS dash, and then, so lowercase fs, meaning finger spelling, name, something like that. If it's a hashtag, that means it's a lexical finger spelling word, which means, or a lexical sign, which means the finger spelling is the sign. When that happens, they're faster. You're not seeing individual letters. It's the sign itself just goes by. We do it already with apartment, right? Because you're not doing APT, it's apartment. And there are a bunch of them in ASL that are like that. Yesterday, you do. So yesterday, what did you do? Okay. So those are the two basic grammatical structures we're going to play with in this unit. So the vocab for this one, quick review your WH questions. And I can put in here, let me, I was going to say I could put in the WH questions, but you already have them. So WH questions, word order with time signs. We'll talk a little bit about that. We've already talked about most of that. And then topicalization, which means topic, comment, or topic, comment, right? So eyebrows go up when you're setting up a new topic. Here's what I'm going to talk about. Here's my comment. So the time signs, today, and you can do now day or tonight, to this afternoon. And we're going to get to daytime signs in a second. I don't remember which chapter it is, but so today, yesterday, you'll sometimes see it with a Y. That's a very signed English way of doing it. It's how I initially learned it was yesterday. So I sometimes slip and catch a lot of crap for signing English. But yesterday, and it comes from, like, the sign for tomorrow is this: tomorrow, tomorrow. So it's an A, like an extended A that goes from the side of your chin out. Tomorrow, yesterday. So the sign for every day, which I'll introduce right now, is every day. And it's just brush. It looks a lot like the sign for ant, but ant is a front-facing circle where every day brushes your jawline. So today, or today, yesterday, tomorrow, tonight, this afternoon, this morning. So now is just that line right in front of you where now exists. So we know past, we know future. Now you can match them with the new batch of signs, the days of the week. They're really easy. I'm going to teach you a very clear way of signing them, which is a very formal way. And then there are more casual ways of signing it that we can look at as well. But Monday, it's an M, and you do a circle, nice slow circle. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you start with a T and go H. Thursday, Thursday, Thursday. Friday, Saturday. Sunday actually comes from church signing, Sunday or Sunday. I've seen both of them. Some people sign Sunday, but in general, in context, it will make sense. You'll also see the casual way is the M backwards. It's a little confusing because it could look like a W, right? So when I'm working with public speaking, I tell people to do M, T, W. Okay, always palm forward, facing forward, because it's the clearest. Once you get the hang of it, then so now we can take all those and put them with past and future. So you can say last Monday, or next Monday, last Tuesday, last Tuesday. Okay, so all we're doing is putting past and future right before. You can do Monday past, but that's more confusing because then they've already made an assignment of who this Monday is, and then you add past, and then so it's more clear to go past. So we know, oh, in the past on Monday, and generally it means the previous one. It wouldn't mean like a week ago Monday. If that makes sense. Okay, so time signs and everyday activities. Go. 2 index fingers. Go. Go. You can even do one. Go. Go. Leave. Shoo. And the way I can best explain leave is when something recedes into the distance, it gets smaller. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. We've seen the sign for go out, outside. So I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go outside to go to work. Leave, 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 leave. Okay. Work. We know work. Sometimes you'll see this. This tends to be an older sign. Work. School. Library. Nice and simple. Kind of like if it was a day of the week, right? Study. We've done this before. And again, as I say, most of these we've already seen. Study. And it comes from multiple reads, like read, read, read. Here's 2 reads, right? Read, read, read. So study. And you wiggle the fingers. Gym. it's kind of G's at the shoulder. Exercise. Exercise. Park. 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 You could sign this, but if it doesn't have trees, you wouldn't play sports if it has trees, right? So park. Practice. We've signed this way back, I think, in ASL Unit 1 or 2. Practice. Imagine you've got a piece of silverware and you've got to polish it. Please don't sign this wrong, because it's a dirty sign and you don't mean I have to go home and practice. Then we could go into a whole bunch of different sports. The best way of doing it is go on YouTube and look up, especially Joseph Wheeler has some great videos where he's just done tons of vocab. And that's easy, so you can go at your own pace. Soccer comes from kicking, right? So soccer. Or football, depending on where in the world you are from, football. Basketball. If you think to start it off, you just toss it up and then they jump for it. So basketball, baseball. So again, you can look up whatever ones you most want to talk about. Right now, football, since the Browns are finally in the playoffs, and my hometown Bills. Okay, so football. So imagine if there's two lines of players opposing each other. Right? Football. And it's up. It's not forward, because this means pregnant. So big difference, right? Church. Once again, I want to point out that ASL has its earliest roots in the church, in the Christian church. So there are so many signs. The word for Sunday comes right from it. There are lots of signs where when they present vocab, church signs are going to pop up. So just be aware of that. It kind of surprises me that so many textbooks just include them without considering that it's very biased. But church. But if someone's religious, they don't see the bias. So anyway, church, and it's right on here. Eventually, we're going to get to the point where we sign duty, like your responsibility. Church. Meeting. So I'll hear all the people coming together at the table, putting their heads together. Meeting. Okay. So church meeting. Nothing more boring than that. Hospital. Or hospital. I've seen both. This is, I believe, the sign for Switzerland. So hospital. Most of the time you see with an H, but people are getting away from that because of the initialization. Hospital, see doctor. And doctor takes your pulse, right? You'll sometimes see it with a D. Don't do it. Just do it with the open hand. Or doctor. Nurse, most of the time you see with 2 fingers. Bank. Again, hashtag bank. So it's bank. B-A-N-K. If you notice, it kind of starts out up as a B, drops down to the A, a little forward for the N, and up for K. Bank. It almost looks like you're spanking someone. Bank. And it happens pretty fast. So just take it, finger spell it slow until you get the hang of it. And it's that sort of, it starts up, boom, boom, boom. It's almost a circle like this. Bank. And withdraw money. You can withdraw money. You can take out. So if you grab it and pull it, withdraw money. Or take out. So if the money's inside the ATM, you take it out. And money. We've seen that before. Restaurant. With an R. Restaurant. Meet friend. Food store or food store. Shopping. So notice in there that we've got store, because that's the location and they sell stuff and you're buying. That's why way back in ASL 2 or chapter 2 or unit 2, I recommended doing this for shopping as opposed to this. You can go store to store to store, but you're actually buying things. So there's a difference between which verb you're using. The everyday activities, stay home, or stay home. Stay It's the opposite of now. We've used this for continue or still. So I'm just going to stay home. I'm not going to go out. Play, game, and they're knuckles to knuckles, not play with, play game. House, clean. So clean is you're just, I believe we've done this one before, clean. And TV, again, notice the hashtag. So TV, watch, or TV, you'll oftentimes see this for watch. This is very passive. This is more active. And you'll see the sign for see, I saw. Like I was doing something and I saw that happen. What? Saw. Back of the hand, very passive. Look, if you remember, meet the parents. I'm watching you, right? Very active. So I was watching something. And this is couch potato, streaming Netflix and binging. Cook. And then the two questions we already went, when and do. And then place here. Sometimes you'll see with P's, but I don't recommend it. Here or over there, here, place. Most of the time you're just pointing to it. There's a conversation that's worth watching and watching a few times. And again, what's nice with these units, when we get to later units in AS at the end of ASL 3, the book is an older version and the videos are much faster. So they've slowed them down and kept a good pace for ASL 1 in this. So we did cleaning, cooking, playing games, watching TV or watching a movie, right? And work and school. Right. So then library, exercise, go to the gym, soccer, church meeting, see doctor, ATM. You could just fingerspell that if you want, or bank machine, blah, 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 out to dinner, restaurant, food shopping, food store. So now we're going to put them together, the days of the week and the activities. And in class, we would go through like whatever day of the week it was, and we would, I'd circle that, and then we would make reference to it. So here's where you want to start constructing sentences. Like, today I did this. Tomorrow I will do this. Yesterday I did this. Or last Monday. And you can play with the ones that are here. Imagine that this is the week right now. Or my recommendation is start thinking of other things that you actually did and make the calendar work for yourself. Even just jot them down, make little squares. If we were doing a dialogue, you could ask the question. It's good to practice questions because in ASL, we do that role shifting to recount a conversation. So you play with dog when? Today's Tuesday when I'm recording this. So yesterday was Monday. Okay. So it's really just a matter of construct the sentence yourself, write it down, then do it. If that doesn't help for you, you can just do it on the fly. But I find that it's really helpful to just list and then pick this. Or if you like flashcards, do a stack of them for activities that you know and a stack for the days and just flip and sign it. Even do past, future if you want. As you figured out, especially with online classes, you have to figure out how you learn. You can't just say, well, I tried. It's up to the teacher to figure it out for me. You have to figure it out because I've presented all the information. Now you just have to take that and make it work. So if it means working with a partner, however. So again, just some more different things. This is now the second sentence where, right? So last Monday, you do what? Okay. So this is how we establish tense. Yesterday. Now we know we're talking about the past. In ASL, we don't have endings. We don't change the verb to match the tense. We add a time sign. I believe it's the same thing in Japanese. They do the same thing where they add a time sign. Where a lot of other languages, you have verbs that have to be conjugated to show the past or show the future, and you have to memorize all those. The verb doesn't change for this. So yesterday, past, or past 2 Mondays. You can even add something like that. Today, and okay, so I did add in there. Today, now, today, and then future, tonight, tomorrow, future Monday, or future. Okay. So again, all these pieces were just building little blocks. A quick review of how to ask when questions, and some playing around, but we've done this. Another conversation. I think this guy's signing is pretty clear. I think his videos tend to be some of my favorites in the book. Unfortunately, he doesn't do that many in the second book, which disappointed me. Anyway, so the next is the do questions, and I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. Dusty. So asking do questions. So again, simply plug in the stuff for this. Past Wednesday, I do what? There's an example of a rhetorical question where you're saying, what did I do last Wednesday? Here's what I did. Tomorrow, what am I going to do? I'm going to do this. Good thing to practice, because in ASL we use it because it gets really boring to just keep talking about things in the present or talking about things in a straight line. We like to put in these rhetorical questions of, and what did I do? I did this. So start playing with that. I will recommend start playing with that in English too. The more comfortable you get, if you find there's a grammatical structure in ASL that you don't feel comfortable signing and it's kind of weird, try using it in English, because almost always we can. You may sound like your first language was Yiddish and you like rhetorical questions, but whatever. So this is just a recap of what we've done so far and the vocab. And then there's a series of mini dialogues. Again, this is the homework. It comes from the textbook, or the student textbook. And I hear the questions, and then I did the answers. So I'm going to fly through those. And then another series of questions. Watch the video and figure out, when are they talking about? Who are they talking about? What's the activity? And where does it happen? Okay. So different combinations of these. And I think there are 13 of them. And I will put the answers in. That's my next step. I think I have them as one slide, so I may just put that at the very end. Cool. And now the videos are getting longer, so I'm going to lose the ability very quickly to post a video of all of the videos from the text. They're now getting so long that they're multiple videos, and it's too much memory, and it's not worth doing because you have the individual videos. All right, so that's 5.1, and this one's probably the longest lecture because it introduces the most new topics.